with the red pill movement, especially a lot of people probably watch Pearl, right? Pearl. And she's not the only one, but a lot of people in that movement or in that community don't talk that positively on marriage.
Mm-hmm.
In your opinion,
Mm-hmm.
is marriage a pro or a con?
Mm, I think to me, it's always.
I mean, essentially, he can't just get up and marry another wife and say, hey, I mean, he can. He can get up and marry another wife without her consent, but that marriage isn't valid.
All the men's being respected by society. They were religious as well.
Because we're in California,
Well,
so
I know time in California is different
yeah,
than our time,
definitely.
for sure. So how's been the week going?
Pretty good. It's been an eventful week. Today, I can't believe it's Thursday.
I know it's been
Yeah,
very flying week
very
for us, to be
eventful for
honest.
sure.
Yeah. What did you think about the very first episode? The viewers that you watched it. The comments we got from some people, some feedback we got from some family members and friends and whatever.
I mean, I'm gonna tell you straight from the get go, just how I've always said. That was not. I was not a fan of that episode, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I was a fan of the one we did before that, but unfortunately, it did not save to the SD card for some reason.
Yeah,
It was a phenomenal episode. I feel like it was
it
it
was.
was actually the original first one, but it did not save, so we had to recreate,
Yeah.
not recreate, but do another
No done.
first episode.
Yeah.
That one wasn't my favorite. I like the second one.
Uh huh.
I know you're working on that, so
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it is what it is, though. Just got to keep it pushing.
Yeah, sometimes things happens with this is like a just digital things,
Hmm.
technology sometimes can fail on you, and
Yeah,
it is what it is, but
yeah,
we did work hard for it and it didn't work.
yeah.
I know maybe it's not the best episode or whatever, but
Right.
to be honest, I just want to push it for people, because I
Hmm.
just want to get the things going. I don't want to be,
Yeah.
you know because like how it goes, like, okay, we'll record another one tomorrow. You keep pushing it until
We
6 months
are
on and
like,
you still
yeah, the
haven't
king
done
and
it.
queen of procrastination for sure. We are, especially now with a kid. It's like a bigger excuse for us to procrastinate, which is terrible. It's very bad.
Yeah, so that's why for me, I was just like, I'm just gonna put it out there. It doesn't matter what quality it is. I don't care what mistake that we made, both of us. I'm just gonna put it out there and hopefully people like it. And I think it was pretty decent for the very first one, to be honest.
Right.
But anyways, guys, hopefully you guys got to enjoy it. And please, if you guys if you haven't subscribed, make sure guys subscribe, because there is a lot more coming
For
in
sure.
a way. So today's topic, we want to talk about, you want to tell them,
Yeah. We're gonna talk about marriage.
marriage.
Just like on the surface level, just because yesterday was my sister-in-law,
Yeah,
his sister's wedding.
my only sister. Yeah.
Only sister. So
Yeah, she got married, and I feel like we are like in that deep mood, wedding feeling. you
we're
know,
definitely very emotional. She
yeah,
left for Chicago about 2 hours ago.
something like that.
Yeah, about 2 hours ago.
So
She still is, but she was our baby of the house, and she's gone.
she's gone.
Even though we're 1 year apart, she's like my baby sister for sure.
Yeah, she has very young personality type of
Yeah, a
thing,
very
right?
young vibe.
But anyways, guys, well, I mean, we just like, we are in the mode of like, getting married, getting this and that. So we decide to, just talk about it. See,
That's the topic of the week.
yeah, and with the red pill these days or blue pill, I think we have to create our own pill.
It's gonna be a vitamin.
It's gonna be a vitamin. What vitamin?
It's a vitamin, just a vitamin.
Just
Vitamin,
vitamin what?
just vitamin, just vitamins.
Yeah.
Okay, how about vitamins? But yeah,
I feel like
with
maybe a pill, green pill or a gray pill. You guys let us know in the comments, please. Maybe we'll create green or gray.
I don't know about gray. I would never take a gray pill.
Well, green pale better. Green light.
Green,
There's no green,
probably.
right? I don't. I don't know. I never
Anyways,
see green.
we digress. With the red pill movement, especially a lot of people probably watch Pearl, right? Pearl. And she's not the only one, but a lot of people in that movement or in that community don't talk that positively on marriage.
Mm-hmm.
In your opinion,
Mm-hmm.
is marriage a pro or a con?
Mm. I think to me, it's always a pro. Absolutely. I mean, it can be a con if you got married to the wrong one. But again, I think anything, it's very worth it. I think it has very high risk, right? Like high risk, high reward. I think everybody should get married.
Mm.
I think it's a beautiful thing. Yes, probably the law or whatever here in the West doesn't benefit the men as much when it comes like kids or bills or whatever it may be. But you can, there's so many different ways you can
Well,
go
let me
about it.
rephrase that. Let's take away the laws. Let's talk about just the union of two people, marriage, right? Just
Hmm.
the union of two people who love each other or want to build a partnership.
Yes.
Let's forget about, you know, child support, custody, just the union of two people.
Yeah. Um, I think it is a beautiful thing. It's hard to describe it, but I think if you're not married and you are closer to your 30s, I think you have to get married, to be honest, like,
Yeah.
period. I think marriage, I mean, we date before we got married and we date after marriage. And I feel like always when you get married, there is not much that changes between us, but you can feel there is something different. I don't know. It's just like, it's hard to describe it, but there is a feeling to it. There's a feeling to it. And of course, I think what I did recognize so much around marriage when I got married, you get a lot of respect from people. So even if you're young and you get married, when you say you're married, people look at you different. They respect you more. They don't judge you as much. You're like respected man in a way.
Hmm.
I get that a lot,
And
you know?
people like kind of give you this like not only respect, but they kind of like esteem or see you mature.
Mature, for
Yeah,
sure. Yeah.
right?
Yeah, for sure. No, that's what I notice it from people that I have talked to, or sometimes people are like, "Oh, girlfriend," they'll be like, "No, my wife." Then they're like, "Oh, wow, it's amazing." I'm sorry, guys, but you can see their attitude changes so quick.
Hmm.
To see that, like, oh, like you see it on them, like their face expression.
Yeah,
Which is good, positive.
the whole
It's all
thing. Yeah, the
positive,
whole nine
absolutely.
yards.
And you get respected. I think one time too, by we got pulled over or whatever. They're like, "Oh, who's she? Who's she?" I was just like, "My wife." And even the cop, he respected us a
Which
lot
one?
more. I think we were I can't remember exactly which one because we got pulled over so many
Was it
times.
the almost felony charge?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think
Which
the
we'll probably make an episode about that one.
I know, huh? We should talk about that
The
one.
time we both almost got a felony
Yeah,
each.
for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. So we and the cops, after he noticed that we are married, his attitude completely changed because he said your girlfriend or whatever like that. And he didn't say anything. Then he repeated again, and then I corrected him. When I corrected him, he just changed his the way how he was talking
Yeah,
with us.
definitely people approach you differently.
So that is a pro.
Yeah,
You get
yeah.
respected by your family, the people around you, and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And you make a more serious relationship. So even if the girl, she's thinking, probably she's not serious or whatever. You just take like from both sides. I feel like take
It
them a little bit more serious.
solidifies
Yeah,
the relationship, you know?
yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, cool. Yeah, in my opinion, I think that a huge part why probably the red pill movement's like anti-marriage, and I mean couple of YouTubers have mentioned it. It's no news. It's because, the laws in the western world unfortunately don't benefit the men.
Mm-hmm.
Not in all cases,
Mm-hmm.
but in majority,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
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 Interesting. Interesting. So,
That's my coffee.
you know how
Yeah.
we definitely did things differently when it came to our relationship and to our marriage.
Yeah.
What what do you think about the way Islam advises for marriages to basically go down the way your sister married your our new brother-in-law?
Yeah. Well, first thing first, I want to just let people know that I'm a coffee addict. You too, but you can't drink caffeine as much
Limit amount
because
because
you can.
I'm breastfeeding.
Yeah, but the the brew coffee,
Yeah, shout
which
out
is
to Brood in Napa Valley.
dude,
They have the best cookies. Okay, no offense. Let me tell you something.
who would like switch from the
Yes,
marriage to the cooking.
very quick break.
Uh-huh.
Brood has decent coffee. Coffee Freeze, which is like a frappuccino type of thing, is amazing, but their cookies are amazing. They don't have the best coffee only because the baristas don't really know how to make a good latte.
Mm,
I like people who know how to actually use and work an espresso machine with
mm-hmm,
a foaming wand.
mm-hmm.
I love a really good, well made latte, not just hot milk.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
true.
I'm
I
very
I think
picky.
we should do a coffee episode one day.
For sure, for sure.
You know,
Anyways,
Ma-
shout out to Brood.
but
They're
anyways,
they're
yeah.
good.
Let's move on from coffee. But anyways,
So
hopefully you guys have something to drink with some popcorn. Get to enjoy this podcast. We're
yeah.
just chatting. Hopefully you guys get to get some value and benefit from this podcast. But anyways, so what's your question again?
Basically, let's rephrase that. To the people who don't know, we're both Muslim. He was born and raised. I'm a revert. When we met, things were not the way God intended them to be, or the way He instructed them to be, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
It's the way He intended it to, but not the way it was instructed in the Quran.
Yeah,
We did date, right? But I feel like in a different world, if we were both Muslim, we would not date, right?
yeah.
So my question is,
I am Muslim, but I was sinner, if you
what
can
is
call
your
it.
opinion on
Yeah.
the way your sister met her husband, married, they did not date. They simply had communication to plan their wedding,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh, uh,
talk about the dowry, this and that.
yeah. First thing first, I want to say I'm really, happy for her and proud that the way how she done
Yeah.
her process, from E to Z to getting married and starting her own family. I wish him the best luck, and may Allah bless him, and and have ease on him and on us as well too. But anyway, so the way how she, I think it's really good. In a way, I'm not jealous, but I'm like I can done better. Like I could have done better.
For sure.
You know,
And
it's just like it made me to reflect
how
on
about
myself a little bit.
before you answer the question, how about just very briefly describe um the way Islam likes people to get married?
Hmm.
Before you answer the question, just kind of explain to the viewers who don't know the way Islamic marriages work. Just kind of do a brief explanation.
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure. So what I want you guys to know about the Islam, how the marriage How the marriage, I mean, how the Islam like the marriage. I mean, the marriage is always, it's one of the most beneficial thing that human being can do, because it prevents you from wasting your time and wasting other people's time. First of all, right? You're not playing around with anybody. You're serious, and you get to start your own family very young age. That's why these days now you see people are, yeah, man can make babies even in their 60s. You know what I'm saying? But is it really worth to make babies in your 60s? Then how long you gonna live after 60s? Explain what? Oh, the process. Oh, I see. Yeah, I didn't get the question maybe. Anyway, so the process, getting married Islamically way, is basically you have to pay the dowry, right? That's what it's called. Which is you pay, it can be gold, it can be money, but these days people use money a lot, so it can be mix of both gold and money or diamond, anything that has value. Yeah. And the poor people back then used to get married only with dates and certain food and stuff like that, right? But whatever you give to your wife, that value thing, sorry, valuable thing, it's hers. You can be like, let's say if you give her money, don't come back and be like, can I borrow that money back or something like that. You know what I'm saying? That's her money. She can do whatever she want with it. She want to spend it, for example, buying items for the house. She want to move in, she can do that. And whatever she want to do with that money, it's her own decision at the end of the day, right? That's hers. Yeah. And after that, you do that, you bring a couple witnesses from both sides, from man and women's sides. I think it should be at least between six. I think six was somewhere in there. I can get the number right, but 6 or 7, somewhere in there. Two or three, somewhere like that, right? And after you do that, you get the imam, which is the imam. If nobody who knows the imam is, it's like the pastor of the Muslim community, right? You call him out, and he need to be licensed or know how to do the process. Then you get your paperwork from the government, and boom,
Yeah,
you make it happen with those witnesses. Make sure you ask questions. Do you agree to get married to
for
this
sure.
guy? You ask the parents as well. You guys allowing or wanting to give your daughter or your to this man,
Yeah.
and everybody agrees.
A contract is essentially formed from that, protecting both rights of the woman
Yeah.
and the man, the marriage will benefit both parties.
Yeah, and they write down everything that the woman should be received,
Correct.
you know. So everything is in the contract. Okay, I received this, how much amount, I received this much gold, whatever. And the wife can give her example, like some kind of boundaries, right? We say, I don't want
Boundaries.
you to get married any wives, you know what I'm saying? And you guys both agree, like pre that,
Right.
they can write it down to certain things like that, I don't want you to do this and that,
Mhm.
and both of them they agree, they can like add it to the contract, right?
Right. Any boundaries?
Something going on, get some water.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You can mute your mic if you want. Yeah, there's boundaries, which is beautiful. It's not like what those people say, oh, well, he can marry 5 wives, 7 wives, she's oppressed. No, there could be boundaries set. People just like to be a bigot and,
Yeah. And let's say even
assume.
if they don't mention that before the contract, they never talked about it, whatever, and the guy one day wants to get married or whatever, and if the wife she don't want to be married to him and he still want, she can always leave. There's
Yeah.
nothing
There could
forcing
be a
her.
divorce, or I mean, essentially he can't just get up and marry another wife and say, hey, I mean, he can get up and marry another wife without her consent, but that marriage isn't valid because she did not agree, in order for her or in order for him to get a second wife. For example, let's just say you come to me, you want a second wife, I have to agree to that.
Yeah.
And you have to be equal. Whatever
So
you give to me, she has to give to her, and you can't have a second wife without fulfilling all my desires, without putting me in a good position,
yeah, the
financially and emotionally.
to be honest,
Um,
some scholars said that you can do that. I mean, you have to do that, like ask for a wife or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But some scholars actually they had like a different opinion. They're like, if it comes to that, like you don't have to. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, there's
but
some situations
yeah,
that
that you don't have to. Yeah, to not to. But at the end of the day, I think. I mean, if you have a two wives, come on, like they gonna know. You know what I'm
well,
saying?
I mean, you know what? Essentially, it's not like every case is the same. So I guess
Yeah,
you're right. I
absolutely.
digress.
For
It's a
example,
case by case basis.
yeah, because
But let's not kind of ramble on into another topic. What I wanted to explain and what was my initial question
mhm.
with your sister was um she was not on Tinder. She was not going to bars. She was not going to cafes. She wasn't going to libraries, to supermarket, finding men, you know. My sister's a hijabi, very respectful woman. Love her to death. She simply came across this gentleman, that he's not from California, unfortunately, and I say that unfortunately only because she's more far away from us. But he's from the Midwest. They talked for about 3 hours, I believe she said. Talked, got to know each other, and um they were just chatting. It was no dating. And they kind of agreed, you know what, we have things in common. I'm okay with you, you're okay with me. Let's move forward. You can meet my parents, yada yada. Um and once the parents agreed, there was a date for the wedding, and the wedding happened. And before the wedding, she did not go with him alone anywhere. She did not date him. She did not touch him. They did not hold hands. They did not hug. She did not kiss him. And they were completely separate, apart for the time the wedding was being planned. And after the wedding, he took her to the hotel. They spent the night, and that night forward, they have the liberty to do whatever they want. And it is no longer my father in law's responsibility to look after her. So
Yeah.
definitely, it was a beautiful experience. So what do you think about that process compared to what the dating scene looks like now in the Western media? Obviously, we're not dating, but we do hear a lot of horror stories from our friends who are dating. What do you think about that? Like, what are your thoughts? What are your feelings
About what
about
exactly?
the dating scene compared to the way Islam
Oh yeah.
instructs us not to date?
To be honest, I think it's super messy. You know, so it's a lot of things going on in the background, and I think for men or women, it's super easy for them to walk away without any consequences, right? And it gets super messy. And like we know that women sometimes she's faithful just because what her options are, so can a better man come in the way, and if she's not married can be taken so easily and go with him and stuff like that. And I think a man too, I think a man is more like it's their nature like that sometimes, but but for a woman it can she can left you for another man so quick. I think men still probably even go outside or do whatever, sometimes he will not leave you, but for a woman she can go and never come back in the same day.
Yeah.
And then that's what can get super messy. And I don't know how those people do it when they have kids with somebody not married. Like I get it, but like I don't understand it. You know what I'm saying? Like you get it, but you don't understand it because it's super risky.
Yeah.
Like you can go. I mean, if you're Christian, you can go to church and do it. You know what I'm saying? Like you can have your own. What do you call the? Uh, when you sign that nobody takes your own stuff. What is it? What's the
A
word?
prenup?
A prenup. You can have your own prenup, like, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. Like, it's not the end of the day, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's not that serious. There is a way to do it without being the government allowing them to give them for permission to get involved in your financial, situation, right?
Right.
So what do you think about it?
I think it's beautiful the way Islam intended it too. I will be
No, about like the new modern world.
the new modern. Um, it's scary. I've always told you, I'm like, man, if I didn't meet you, like, well, I say I'm glad I met you back then, and we, you know, got married early on because I can't
You were 18 probably, isn't
I
it?
can't. Uh, close. No. Well, essentially, I was 19. I was 19 because it was in September. So you basically, if you round, I was 19.
It was like three months before
Nah, I
three.
was like 19.
Yeah.
But anyways, back
Anyways.
to what I was saying.
Okay.
Um, lost my train of thought.
You said you were, you know,
Oh, like I've said, I'm glad we got married early on because I can't imagine myself dating right now. Like in this world, like dating, that's scary. Like I try to picture myself like single,
uh-huh,
like right now. And
uh-huh.
like you're trying to date in this world. I don't know. That's scary.
Very scary.
Very scary for me. I
Absolutely.
don't I don't think I could do it. Like doing the apps, like the fact that the guy you meet probably potentially had relations with like people you've hung out with,
Hmm.
you know what I
Hmm.
mean? I don't know, it's just scary. It's such a small world now that
Yeah,
social
absolutely. So
media
much
is
creepiness going
here.
on.
There's so much creepiness, and really the internet has made the world so small.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
absolutely. That's so true.
Um so um to each their own, but I don't think I would. I don't know. I wouldn't like that.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Not for me. I think if I was single right now and I was looking for a husband, I would honestly go to like some sort of I don't know, probably like back to Mexico.
Back to
Uh
Mexico.
to a small like village, a very small remote village
Yeah.
where the men are not exposed to social media and all these like
Yeah.
thoughties
Yeah. Yeah.
on Instagram. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I definitely look for a man who's not introduced to the Western world.
Hmm.
I think that's the only way I'd be happy.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. It's
You
very
know what I
important.
mean? Like that's what I would do.
It's very important to get married early as possible. I think especially women should get early because I think the longer you're gonna be waiting, the more damages probably you're gonna be getting in a way. You don't have to, but sometimes you you know.
Yeah, I think a lot of women don't realize that when they sleep around, they carry a piece of each body with them. Just a tiny
I have a
sliver.
question actually about a show that it's kind of like a red pill show. What do you think about the Fresh and Fit
Oh
podcast?
man, I love that. That's like, you
Really?
know how I say, I like to
Actually, me
watch.
very first time asking her this question.
Really,
Like,
I like to
I
watch
never
trash
asked you this
TV.
question before.
Yeah.
Yeah, really
I
first time.
think I've watched it a lot, especially
Mhm.
it's funny during my pregnancy when I'd wait for you to come home.
Really?
Yeah. But I find it very entertaining. I sometimes I wish I'd be on that show
Mm.
because sometimes I can't believe the stupidity of
Yeah.
some of the
The
guests on
females in
the
there.
show.
Yeah.
I it literally like sometimes I'm like, is this scripted? Like, is this show fake?
Yeah.
Like, do they pay them to act stupid or
Yeah.
like uneducated or something? I don't
Hmm.
I don't know. It's mind boggling, but it's very entertaining. It's funny.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
It's
very
it's just
entertaining.
entertaining to
Yeah.
me.
I think
Yeah.
I think the show is pretty good. I think there's a lot of women seems like they pick up some really good value from it because just to get to understand what men's wants and stuff like that. But at the same time, probably I don't really probably because the way or my values, I don't agree about the advice that given to the men. But again, the same time, they're not telling every guy you should do this, you should do that. Like go and and be like slip around or whatever like that,
Mm,
right? they
mhm.
don't they don't like tell people to do that, but I heard, I think one of the clips that Myron said that you should sleep with like 50 people or whatever, some crazy number,
That he should sleep or like the
like a
men?
man should sleep with, before you get
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
married, to get like to understand the woman's nature. But
Yeah.
I think doing that for a man too can destroy your like everything. Oh, everything has to be limits. Yeah, like
Yeah.
couple probably you handle it, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
but getting crazy number, probably that's why you are 40 years old sometimes and you have no kids, no anything like that.
Right,
I
right,
think
right.
we were born here to procreate, right?
Yeah,
And
and
uh,
in my opinion,
uh
short interruption, I think when a woman hears that a man has been around like that as well, it's also a turn off. A lot of especially him, he'd be like, "Oh, body count doesn't mean anything on a man." But reality is a
what
valued, respectful woman who is wife material,
hmm
that is not attractive to her having a man with a high body count. Oh, well, he has more experience in bed and yada yada yada. That it's not attractive at all, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, no, absolutely, I don't think so. That's not it's not downgrading like a woman, right? It's not as bad for a man.
Degrading.
Degrading, yeah,
Mhm.
degrading. uh what's up? My co-host, my another co-host,
Yeah, uh
and a third co-host. What's going on?
we have our producer, my
Producer.
other brother-in-law.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's good to go. Yeah. Anyways, guys, we just our producer was checking on us,
Shout
making
out to our
sure
producer because he's not only our producer, but he's our babysitter.
he's a babysitter. Yeah, that's why
As you
you
guys
guys.
know, we do have our infant in the background and stuff. So if you
Yeah,
hear grunting, that's him.
yeah. Appreciate it, bro. Anyways, so that being said, what I was saying, yeah, it's not degrading
Right.
as a woman, but still, at the end of the day, it's not. It's not healthy.
It's a turn off
Yeah,
for both parties,
yeah,
I'll
it's
tell
not.
you. It's
Yeah,
a turn off for both
maybe there is
parties.
small market for a woman for that, probably. But again, your niche is too tiny.
Just how there is a small market of men,
Hmm.
I won't say who, but
Yeah,
especially when the red pill movement really started popping, I asked my coworkers, like, isn't it a turn off to have a woman who's been slept around? And they're like, no, it's not. They're like, no, we don't care. Like, we don't care.
yeah,
So definitely there's men, a small market of men who genuinely don't care.
yeah. Well, yeah, I think those men, they don't have no standards. Of course, if you don't have no standards and you never had anything going on for you, you barely trying to just scrape the floor to you know to to entertain yourself, right?
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be like that, but I think man with his you need to have your own respect, right? For me, if somebody disrespect me a tiny bit, I don't care who it is, that's what I die for, respect.
Right.
Just respect me, and me going to someone with high level body count or whatever, I think that's just really disrespectful to me.
Yeah.
I won't ever be able to open up. It's just that's me probably because I'm,
Again,
you
it's
know.
like we're in the Western media. We're not saying
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah,
if you don't have no body count, like you're the best, like,
yeah,
or if, we're saying a respectable
Yeah,
amount.
respectable amount,
We
and
get it.
respect yourself.
We're not angels. We're you
Yeah,
know what
we
I
all
mean?
make mistakes for sure. Yeah,
But have a respectable amount, not like something insane,
yeah,
right?
absolutely. And that's why, Islam religion give that option to a man, that people have ability to marry more than one. If you have ability, like financially, as being a man, you can handle them. You can provide for
Emotionally,
everything,
physically,
physically,
financially.
everything, right? So you have to be all around it to do that. You can be like,
Well-rounded
a
man. You
well-rounded man.
can't be
Yeah, you know what
a
I'm saying.
broken butt trying to have four
Yeah,
wives.
or you have money but you can't satisfy them and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying.
Exactly.
So
You have to
it's not
satisfy them in all aspects.
from all aspects, and
All
you
of
have to
them.
make them equally. Like if you bought one Fiji water for one, you gotta buy them for all of them, Fiji,
One has a child, they all gotta have a child.
yeah, so like it's a lot of work,
It is a lot of work.
especially now these days. Time goes so fast. I don't think so a man has that lot of time. Probably two. I think it's a respectable number, but go with more than two, I think you are putting yourself in really tight situation. And that's
For
why
sure.
this, like, people call them high value mans, this and that I like. Okay, yeah, I'm married, but whatever, and I slip around or whatever, stuff like that. Yeah, you can do that, but you do it once a while, you know what I'm saying. If you can do it every day, you can keep up, you know what I'm saying. Like, you can, just too much work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, I don't know. I mean, let's see if I can put my thoughts into words.
it's a I feel like it's what do you call it, drain energy, like it drains your
Draining
energy.
energy, yeah.
Yeah.
I think a respectable, high valued man would not sleep around like that either, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a real man. I'm not talking about a man who has millions
But
of
hold on.
dollars and
But
companies and can have access to whatever and has
uh,
status.
but do you think?
I'm talking about a real man who is emotionally strong, physically strong,
Mhm. Yeah.
right? Has financial stability.
Yeah.
I'm talking about those kind of men.
For
Men
sure.
who have faith,
Yeah.
men who believe in God.
Yeah.
I don't think those men, the real men,
Uh-huh.
sleep around.
No, well, okay. The have a high value man. I think this is very it's a wide broad, you know what I'm saying. It's like, it's not specific, because what value man to me, it can be something, high value man, different to somebody else, which is
Right.
okay. But again, but still, we have to agree what's the majority of human being agree on, right? So now if you say high value man or successful man, is like, okay, like, first thing first, you think about money, how much money he has, how much money makes,
Yeah.
and other things, right? But
Yeah.
you can be a billionaire or millionaire, right? But you can be losing on all other aspects, right? And is that really good idea to being a value man like that?
What do you mean?
Like, you have money, you know what I'm saying, but you completely, like, out of shape, maybe you don't know how to support them or anything like that.
For sure.
you know
Quick interruption. How
uh,
about we
Make a little break.
yeah, get a little break and yeah,
Okay, we'll make a little break, guys. Come back.
for sure.
We were talking about how you high value a man.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we'll be right
We
back.
spiraled from marriage to high
Yeah.
valid men.
Yeah. All right, let's get. All right, guys, we came back again. Sorry, guys, we'll take a little break because our baby, he's being a little bit fussy.
Yes, he's teething.
He's teeny, yeah. So his mama gave him some carrots so he can chew on a little bit. He seems he's enjoying it so far,
Yeah.
right, Papa? Yeah. So like I said, guys, you have to get used to it, seeing him sometimes around.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's such a good boy. He's funny. But anyways, we were talking about value man, right?
Yeah,
So what I was saying about the value man thing, I said, yeah, everybody have a different perspective about value man. But at the end of the day, we have to see what's the majority of people, what they agree on, of who's high value man. Yeah, somebody, when you say high value man, that means like somebody successful or whatever. But it's not money, it's everything. It is everything, but at the same time it's not everything, because it can someone has a lot of money but he's a shithole from any other perspective, from any other aspect of life. Can be very out of shape. He can be, he's not really a leader. He can be, he's very cheating man, not cheating just on his loved ones, but cheating on his employees and his companies and stuff like that. And I think, to me, who's value man, somebody respected by the community, the people around him, his family, his kids, his parents as well. Everybody loves him, and they value his word, what he had to say, because he's very respectable. And if he said something, he's going to do it. He's gonna do it. And if he promised something, he's gonna get that done, or whatever. He's gonna do it, not being giving a words and just not doing what he said he's going to do. And he's not obviously cheating. Yes, if you want to have multiple relationship with anybody, you can go ahead, but you be honest with anybody. Have that big testicles mentality, right? I think that's, and you have to be respected, and you have to fear God, you know what I'm saying? um I mean, yes, you can be, if you're not respected by if you're not, I mean, if you're not respecting God's rules and stuff like that. I mean, obviously not everybody religious, but I don't think so. It's not a good idea to be to be like, it's not a good idea to be someone that doesn't follow any religion at all. I think, at least if you follow in some kind of religion, I think it give you some guidance to live your life. And if you're respecting that, I think you will do good in life. Makes you a better human being, stronger man, better man. And I think all the men's being respected by society, they were religious as well. So yeah, man, it is big part of man, but it's not everything. Yeah, it makes a huge difference, but it's not everything. Definitely some other man being strong and all those kind of things, it makes a stronger man better. So he's super active. He want to be playing around. He was like, we're not gonna do the podcast today. Baba, are you okay? He's getting mad. Huh? You want to come to Papa's? Let me see. Let me see. Come to Papa's. All right. uh, Anyways, so what do you want to say?
I definitely have to agree on that. And I guess that's what I was trying to say earlier, that a high value man will not sleep around, in the sense where he won't be cheating. He will be honest, because definitely um a cheating man in a relationship with his wife can be a cheating man in a business partnership. So you definitely don't want that. You don't want someone who is not honest in any way, shape, or form, because they can cheat you out in a business venture, as friendships. They can betray you, the list goes on. So yeah, I definitely agree on that. So kind of to piggyback on the whole marriage, our marriage. So if you remember correctly, your mom came home from Morocco, and she obviously knew when she was in Morocco that we were like dating. Um, but once she was here, it was kind of like a little bit more pressure for you to like settle down or call it quits. I remember when you called me. I don't know if you remember that conversation where you're like, "Hey, like we have to get married or like we just can't do this anymore." Remember? And I was not ready. I was so scared. I was not ready at all. Um and so basically we ended up obviously getting married. Do you remember the day we got married?
The same exact day.
Yeah, the same exact day we got married.
I think it was on Wednesday.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was on a Monday.
it was on Monday. No,
Yeah,
it
it
was
was on a
there.
Monday, no. But anyways, I'm just saying, do you remember the day in general?
Yeah, no, I remember exactly the day when we were like to the court and all that.
Yeah. So
It
how
was
did
not a court. It's like what is it?
the
Just
clerk's office?
yeah. Um, but yeah, no, I remember the exact day, and Ibrahim, he was with us too. Just kidding. But anyways, no, I remember exact that day, and that's how sometimes having you have a good parents in your life, guide you because as when you're young, yes, we think we know everything, but we don't. Every year you learn more things. I was like, oh, I thought, I know this, I know this, I know that, but the more you live, the more you learn 100%. And yes, my mom did give me a little bit of pressure. She not force me or anything to it, but she was like, you have to be serious. You guys already been, together for
Yeah,
this
she
long.
forced you to make a decision.
Yeah, she forced me to. It was like, you guys been, knowing each other for this long. So it's you have to know by now, yes or no. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like how many more years example you need, which is there's a lot of people in this situation, they've been
Which at
together
that point we were together for a while.
almost like, is it 3 or 2, somewhere in there.
Like about 3 years.
Yeah, but anyways,
3, maybe 4. It was the
yeah,
3rd or 4th year we were together.
so yeah,
Um,
so that's
but, how did you feel, like, our wedding day, like, going over there? Like, being at the clerk's office, like, how did you feel?
oh man, I remember that day. I think I was fine all the days before, but the day before that one, i uh I remember we went to the office or whatever. Well, I mean, okay, let's backtrack a little bit. I'm getting sidetracked by this baby right here. But the day before, I mean, the same exact day, I went like to the gym the last 3 hours. I'm supposed to be like getting ready or whatever. But I think because it's the anxiety start hitting my chest maybe or something like that. So I went to the gym. I had the kind of okay-ish workout, but it did really help. So I would highly recommend people going to the gym and hitting the workout in your wedding day because it really helps with anxiety, stress, and all that. And I was fine after. So I was fine, just coming home, having fun, whatever. We went to the courthouse to do the paperwork. Her family, my family show up. So we're like doing all the paperwork and all that, and I start feeling again that anxiety, uh, and my heart beating start like ramping up, a little
Yeah.
bit, just you felt it, and when we walked to the room,
Right.
it was super intense. Yeah, it was, I don't know, it
You were
was.
s you were sweating, I
Yeah,
bet. Yeah, I
yeah. I
remember.
was sweating a little bit, so it was tough. But as long we walked out, I was like a brand new man. Like that feeling just disappeared,
Yeah.
like so quick. You know what I'm saying? As long, I promise. As long I walked outside, I was feeling great. Like nothing happened.
Yeah. No, for sure.
So sometimes
I
our
can
brain can make very you know big deal out of it, and you think it's the end of the world and your life is gonna end. But trust me, even if it didn't work out, there is always a way around it. You know what I'm saying? So don't feel like you're gonna be dying, or your heart is gonna stop or anything like that. It's not. It is serious, but it's not that serious.
Right. I do remember I definitely sensed your energy, and my thought process was like, "Oh man, he's gonna say no, he's gonna back out, he's gonna get cold feet." Because I remember at that point I didn't want to get married. I was like, "No, I don't want to get married." Cuz it didn't feel natural. It just felt like I was like, "I'm young, I don't want to get married. Like, let's just wait." And you didn't want to. And obviously it was like we didn't there was no option. It was either this or that. So it was definitely I wasn't ready. But in that moment when we were there, it was just kind of more like I felt like he was gonna back out. And I'm like, man, if he backs out, I look like an idiot. And I'm gonna have to like act all poker face and pretend like I don't even care. And for a while, I definitely thought that he was just gonna get cold feet and walk away. But obviously that wasn't the case. So that was a pretty intense moment for sure. It was very surreal. And after it happened, we just eloped here in Napa Valley. And after we just ended up eloping. So yeah, we ended up eloping and then we had Korean barbecue after, if you remember. Yeah, we had Korean barbecue with our best friend Lisa at the time. Um, we were like going out consistently with her, so it was pretty good. Yeah.
Sorry, guys. The baby's being a little bit too much, but we're gonna be wrapping this up soon.
Yeah.
But I want to reply back. And yeah, no, I remember we went to Korean barbecue because that time actually that's what we were into too much. We really enjoy it and love it. And like you said, your friend Lisa, she was with us, and we're like, well, should we go? Should we go? And I'm like, yeah, let's go over there. Why not? It would be
Yeah.
fun. And we did. We had pretty good dinner, and yeah,
Yeah.
and the rest is a history. It's been a
For
crazy
sure.
ride,
Yeah.
and we're here. We brought another life, you know,
Yeah.
and that's the main reason why people
It was
get
like
married.
the day after or
Hmm.
2 days after we went to Vegas for our honeymoon.
Yeah,
Honeymoon.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That was again great time,
Mhm.
and actually that time it was my very first time me going to Vegas. I never been
Right.
in Vegas. So first time went to Vegas. I went with the wife for honeymoon. Do you guys see him? He's
And
chewing on
for
his thing.
those who are like, "Oh, he's not supposed to eat carrots."
He's not
He's
eating
not
it.
eating the
He's just
carrot.
sucking
He's
on it.
teething, he's sucking on it.
Yeah,
He's using it to like bite down on it just to kind of
I know.
itch,
Yeah,
just to soothe
yeah. Look, he's
cuz it's
putting his own.
cold,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, yeah. Love you. But yeah, so you guys, for those people, they're not married yet. They have no one in their lives have any like a serious relationship or anything. Would you?
No, how about actually
Mm,
interruption? How about for those who do have someone
yeah.
and they're on the verge, they kind of teeter tot whether they should ask them or not,
Mm-hmm.
ask her to get married or ask him, "Hey, it's okay." I definitely think you guys should do it. It's beautiful. Like if you have a best friend in your life, just in general,
Mm-hmm.
marriage is like having that friendship of best friends, but like times 10.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely we have a lot of fun, a lot of
Oh,
laughs.
absolutely. It
Yeah.
was crazy, right? We're still learning. We're
Crazy.
progressing in the right direction.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. We
the
had a lot
babies,
of
the
a lot
baby.
of downs.
Yeah,
But like we've mentioned before, as of recently, a lot of ups.
yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think with any relationships, there is, but I think you have to be strong. You have to be willing to work it with that person you are with
And be mature.
and be mature,
Yeah.
and don't take it too personal sometimes, I guess,
Yeah.
because especially women go through certain, phases and
Cycles.
cycles and stuff like that. They can be crazy, and they don't know they are crazy, and they are crazy,
Especially women on birth control, I'll tell you that.
yeah, and that too. So yeah, no, my what the advice want to give to the people are young, maybe early 20s, they're not married yet, for those women's, not men, but talk to women's, I will talk to men. What the advice would you give them? Should be dating, should be looking for a man, maybe settle down, start family, should
Right.
focus on career, and like
Yeah.
what's your final words to those people?
I my advice to those girls, speaking from experience, I would say if you're not, let's just say you're American in the Western world, if you're not obviously Muslim, I would say if you're not dating to get married, you know, I would say then don't date at all. If you're not ready to get married at the moment
Oh my god.
and you're dating, I would say stop dating. Stop. Have fun, enjoy your life, travel, do all the things you've wanted to do. And when you feel like you're ready to get married, then I feel like you should start dating or searching for that other person.
Yeah.
But I I highly recommend for the women who are dating and again are not ready to get married, just stop dating, focus
Complaining.
on yourself,
He's a
build yourself,
complainer.
focus on self-development, get the mind, get the body, get the house, get the car that you want, and then definitely get married. Very vocal.
Okay, no more carrots.
No more carrot.
So, here, can you hold him for
For
me?
sure.
So I can say my last. All right, guys. Sorry about going back and forth with the baby. He's being really fussy. That's why we wanna wrap it up because yeah, he's being just yeah, and it's getting late now too for his bedtime, so we need to put him to bed. And we don't want to make this podcast so long too. We want to keep them a little bit short and sweet for you guys. Yeah, my advice to the people that they're not married yet, and I think if you have pretty good job, pretty decent income, I think, and you find somebody that you can make a life with, I think you should do it. Because you start making that relationship early age and get to know the person in the right way, and that way you by the time you get late 20s or early 30s, you'll know exactly that person is the right for you to make kids with, whatever. You don't have to get married and have kids right away. I mean, you can wait for a couple years or whatever you want, whatever you guys decide to. But it's very important. It's going to teach you discipline in life, period. And starting early family, with the babies and stuff like that, it's amazing because by the time you get your 50s, your kids are going to be super growing, and you can get to connect with them in very high level. And you guys get to start business together and stuff like that, so it has a lot of beneficial to it, and it can be a little bit risky, being a little young. But I think but I think the pros outweigh the cons for sure, you know um yeah, so hopefully you guys got to enjoy this podcast. I think this subject is so big and deep. We can be talking here more and more and more, but we will revisit these topics again in the future for sure. We'll talk about it maybe when like in a different angle, and have our opinion about it, and hopefully you get to enjoy this podcast about relationship, marriage, all that. And like I said, I mean, we came up with the topic because we are in the mood for that, like because we just went through a wedding. It was amazing. Congrats to my lovely sister. We wish her the best luck, and God bless you for sure, and God
Yep.
bless us as well, and
Yep.
God bless everybody, you know.
Mhm.
So what's your, do you have any last thoughts?
Um,
Is your microphone is on first
yeah,
of all?
it's on.
Well,
I
finally the
know
baby is being
earlier
now good.
I know earlier you mentioned, everyone should get married. But I definitely do think that, marriage is not a glove that fits all. Um, I feel like there are, of course, those one-offs that some people just, not that they shouldn't get married, but they're okay. They're
But there is
fine
definitely some people who shouldn't get
not
married.
getting married. You know
Yeah,
what I
for
mean?
sure. Yeah, no,
Um,
absolutely. I mean,
but
if
with
when I
all
say
that,
everybody, I'm just saying
just
for the people are have a good brain and good health. You know.
yes.
Yeah.
With that being said, um, I don't know, just take what you like from us, from this topic, and
Yeah.
build on that. Our experiences could be different and they may not apply to your life.
Hmm.
But hopefully you picked, at least maybe picked up one thing that may have helped you, or I don't know, at least make you second guess about something that later on brought you to,
Yeah.
a new development.
Yeah. And you're not gonna die if even if you did it, if it didn't work out. So I mean, you know, yes. I mean, not majority of the people are in a relationship anyways, you know, so might as well just trying to make it work as possible. But do
Yes.
your research before you get yourself in that contract, of course, you know, get to know the person, you know, how get when I say good to know, what I mean by that personally, maybe not going to 100 dates with them, you know, get to know them maybe through friends, neighbors, the people are surrounding with that person, you know, in the background kind of thing, you know, see how you can access to that person you want to get married to in their personal life, but without approaching them straight up, you know. So if you know what I'm saying, like,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, if you ask like friends that, you know, whatever, or like neighbors or people that like, oh, do you know that person, you know, oh, I went to high school with, oh yeah, like
It's
this,
always good to know what other people think
think
about
about that
them
person.
and
Yeah.
what other people have to say about that person,
Yeah, exactly.
because it's very easy for that significant other to paint you a picture in that, quote unquote dating process or
Yeah.
meetup process.
w- uh,
And they could easily, lie,
yeah, and we
and they
all
can tell
know.
you, there's something, and they end up not being that person. So definitely do your due diligence if you're serious about someone, and go around and see what people think about them. We're not saying stalk them by any means, but definitely do like some light, private investigation work, and kind of just find out,
Yeah,
is
sure, sure.
that person reliable, honest? Is that person the one that you want? Do they meet all those requirements for you? You
Yeah,
know? Mhm.
absolutely, absolutely. um yeah, I wish you guys the best, and please, if you guys have any disagreement about this is our opinion, you don't have to follow them or anything like that, but we just speak our mind. That's
Yep.
why this show is called Mindscape. You
Yep.
escape your mind, you say what you want without
Yep.
any judgments,
Yeah.
and you guys can see us, we are in our living
Yeah.
room.
Well,
uh,
not
Not
our living
ours.
room, but we are in our parents' house.
Yeah, you know, we're enjoying our time, you know, you can see us, we're cozy, we
Yeah.
brought our equipments with us, we
And
want to
for a
make.
quick break, here's a little baby mic action, my cute baby. It's honestly the cutest thing ever.
I think your microphone is muted, you know.
No,
Okay.
it's the cutest thing ever.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Okay, so he knows you doing that, so he's gonna be quiet now. But anyways, be careful not plug in the microphone again. But yeah, you guys please, you know, if you guys leave us your feedback and let us what you think about this show, you know, or this episode about marriage and relationship wise. Definitely, like I told them before, we will go into revisit this episode
For sure.
one more time, because these topics, it can go on and on and on, never stops, you know. There's so many different
Mhm.
angles you can talk about Yes. Yeah. So let us know what other, send us questions. I'll leave my email down below in description. Please, pick that email and leave us, send us your questions, send us your story. Maybe you want us to talk about um any feedback as well, any work you want us to do, or something like that. It's always appreciated. And we thank for all our new subscribers that subscribe to our channel and in other audio platforms as well. We do upload on YouTube and audio as well. And if there is any new suggestions about the show or anything like that, like I said, feel free to leave it in the comments and subscribe, please.
The only suggestion we won't do is remove the baby.
Remove the baby
Because we can't.
or stop doing the show either. Because we understand that this show it's not for everybody, and we want to work only with the people that actually getting to enjoy the show.
Yes.
So hopefully we'll find our audience that get to enjoy our show. If you are one of them, we thank you, we appreciate you, and please support us. All right, guys, I will catch you to the next one. Bye bye. Bye bye.